Hello there, Charger family. This is Mrs. Boyd in Mrs. Boyd's Math Room. Today we're going to be talking about one-step inequalities. We have talked about the addition and subtraction version. Now we're going to talk about multiplication and division. I hope it's ringing a bell for you. So when multiplying both sides of an inequality by a negative number, these changes only affect when we multiply or divide by negative numbers. The inequality symbol is reversed. That just means we take the inequality symbol that we have and flip it around. So let's do some inequality writing. A number divided by -3, so x divided by, -3, is less than 5. Well, if we want to get x alone, which we do, we're going to multiply both of these sides by -3. -3 divided by -3 cancels, and we've got x less than -15. Oh, but I already made the mistake. Oh my gosh. We divided by this negative number, and when we did, we need to flip our inequality sign in the other direction. So now we have x is greater than -15. Let's show it in our fancy notation here. Got x given that x is greater than -15. Let's graph this on our number line. Put -15 right in the middle. Since there's no equals in our inequality, it's going to be an empty circle at -15. And since we have our variable on the left, our inequality symbol is going to point in the direction that we're going to shade our line. So the inequality points to the right, and we're going to shade to the right. All right, they're all going to be a whole lot like this. Okay, next one, 1/2 of a number. So 1/2 times x is more than -8. So if 1/2 x is more than -8, that means it's got to be greater than -8. Opposite of multiplying by 1/2 is multiplying by the reciprocal, which is 2/1. So 2's cancel, 1's cancel. All we have left is x. Then we're multiplying this time by a positive, so our inequality sign stays the same. And -8 times 2 is -16. Now notice our product on the right is a negative number, but I'm not going to flip my inequality unless this number that we multiplied is what's negative. And in this case, it's not. So let's write it in our notation. X given that x is greater than -16. I'm going to put -16, -18, -14, and let's graph this. It's an empty circle again at -16, and our inequality points to the right, so we shade to the right. Maybe I could even do, maybe this would make more sense if we shade this way. Next, 1/8 of a number, so 1/8 times x is less than or equal to 3. So let me fix this. I did not do the inequality symbol very well, did I? Is less than or equal to 3. So opposite of dividing by or multiplying by a fraction is multiplying by the reciprocal. So times 8/1 on both sides. 8 cancel, and we've left with x on the left. And that's less than or equal to 24. Solution set notation, x given that x is less than or equal to 24. Put 24 on our number line. And this time with the equals in our inequality, it's a solid dot, not a circle. And our inequality points to the left, so we'll shade to the left. All right, hope you're with me so far. Just a few more. If you haven't stopped and tried these on your own, I would do that now and see what you can do with these. A number divided by 4, so that's x over 4, is at least -2. So if it's at least -2, that means it can be -2 or more. So that's greater than or equal to. If we want to get x alone, opposite of divide by 4 is multiply by 4. The 4's cancel, and we're left with x. It's greater than or equal to -8. Solution set notation looks a little something like this. X given that, x is greater than or equal to -8. We can put it on our number line. It's going to be a circle, a full dot at -8, and it will be pointing to the right. 2 more. -1/6 of a number is less than -9. So if we want to get x alone, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is -6 on both sides. -6's cancel, and I'm left with x. We're dividing by a negative, so we're going to flip our inequality in the other direction and have positive 54 on the right. Oh, let's put it in solution set notation. X given that x is greater than 54. Put it on our number line now. It's going to be an empty circle, and our line will be shaded to the right. Last but certainly not least, we've got one more. A number divided by -8 is less than or equal to -5. So to get x alone, we need to multiply both sides by -8. Cancel those out, and x is less than or equal to, oh, I forgot it again. Multiplying, holy cow, by a negative. So we're going to flip our inequality around the other direction. Let's write it in our solution set notation. X given that x is greater than or equal to 40. On the number line, ooh, that's 38. And then it's going to be a dot at 40. And we're going to shade to the right. Now, flip your paper over, and we're going to look at dividing. The same rules are going to apply here as they did for multiplying. If we need to divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, the inequality symbol will be reversed. So 4 times a number, so 4 times x is at least 10. Well, if it's at least 10, it can be 10 or more. So that's greater than or equal to 10. If we want to get x alone, we need to divide both sides by 4. The 4's cancel. On the left, we've got x greater than or equal to 10 over 4, which we can simplify to 5 halves. If we put it in solution set notation, greater than or equal to 5 halves. And we make 5 halves the center of our number line. That's really all we need to label. It's going to be a dot because of the equals in our inequality, and it'll be shaded to the right. Next one, 3 times a number is less than -9. We want to get 3, or we want to get 3 alone. We want to get x alone, so we divide both sides by 3. And x is less than -3. Notice I didn't need to change the inequality sign because while our quotient is a negative number, we did not divide by a negative. Let's put this in set notation. X, given that x is less than -3. The center of our number line is -3. It's an empty circle because it doesn't include an equals. And we'll shade to the left. -5 times a number is greater than or equal to -10. So we want to get x alone, so we'll divide both sides by -5. The -5 cancels and leaves us with x. We're dividing by a negative now, so we'll flip our inequality in the other direction. And -10 divided by -5 is +2. Our set builder notation. We put our center of our number line at 2. And it's going to be a dot on +2. And we will shade to the left. Moving on down, you've pretty much seen the bulk of it. If you are feeling into it, try these last 3 on your own. -2/3 times a number is at least 12. That means it can be 12 or more, which is greater than or equal to. Remember, we want to, instead of dividing by this fraction, instead of dividing by -2/3, we're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, -3 halves. -3 and 2 cancel, and we're left with x. We flip our inequality in the other direction. X is less than or equal to now. 12 times -3 is -36 over 2. And we can simplify that and make it x is less than or equal to -18. So -18 is the center of our inequality, our number line. It's going to get a dot on -18, and we'll shade to the left. I forgot the set builder notation. Let's do that real quick. And that should do it. 2 more. -12 times a number times x is less than 84. Well, we want to get x alone, so we'll divide both sides by -12. -12's cancel, and we're left with x. Excuse me. We were dividing by a negative, so we flip the inequality sign. And 84 divided by -12 is -7. Set builder notation, x, given that x is greater than -7. -7 on our number line, empty circle, and we'll shade to the right. Last one for the day. 84 is more than 4 times a number. Just flipped it around a little bit this time. So we want to get x alone. We'll divide both sides by 4. Those 4's cancel, and I'm left with x on the right. 84 divided by 4 is 21. Now, we need to flip this baby around. So let's write down the terms on either side of the inequality. On the original answer, the point is pointing at x. So when we rewrite it, we need to make sure the point continues to point at x. Set builder notation, x given that x is less than 21. 21 is in the center. empty circle, shading to the left. I hope these are making all sorts of sense to you. I hope you're doing amazing. Please reach out if you're having problems, and I hope to see you soon.